could not be more excited to have with me for the first Morning Cup of Joe in 2022, Rand Fisher, president of the Iowa Area Development Group that has spanned 25 years now and is also retiring at the end of January. And Rand has been a very important partner to the Community Foundation since we started working with our affiliate network across the state. And so I wanted to invite Rand on to maybe take a little bit look at the past, to where we started with this whole venture, but also in Rand's unique way to set a little bit of the vision and what we have to look forward to for philanthropy across the state. So Rand, thanks for being with us today.
Well, thanks for giving me an opportunity to share a cup of Joe and to thank and honor our affiliates one last time. 22 is going to be remarkable for me in a lot of respects, but my retirement is looming. And so this is really an opportunity for me to one last time, well, hopefully not a last time, to thank our affiliates and acknowledge their great work, and to thank you and Rebecca for all that you have done.
Yeah, thanks, Rand. So this has been going on for about 15 years now. A lot of the affiliates got started in 2005. And at that point, a lot of community foundations were in our urban centers. Correct. Des Moines, Omaha, Quad Cities. Just a few rural communities had their own community foundation. Tell us what was happening at that time that really spurred the state to get behind the movement of community foundations in rural Iowa.
A couple things that we looked at that time, and you remember them well. In fact, you still work with our affiliates on things like wealth transfer.
Yep.
And that was motivating. People began to understand that there was a great opportunity to harness, that it was coming. You know, I think those numbers are about $5 billion a year is transferring in Iowa, and that was a great opportunity. But you know, my working career has been really a window to how much people care about their communities, whether it's their hometown or what you folks at the Community Foundation sometimes call the life town. You know, where you've made your career and where you're raising your family, and I just knew that. That people love their hometowns, and given a great tool and an opportunity like a community foundation, that if we put some things in place, this could be a powerful tool for the future.
Yeah, and what I appreciate about the Iowa Development Group is you guys come out of the economic development world, right? You're trying to retain and recruit business for communities, but you also really value placemaking. You really value community development, which fits right in with our community foundation work. As you think back over the last 15 years, are there any milestones or moments you're like, yes, there's a reason we did this and this is why?
Well, you know, I mentioned the wealth transfer. I think the other thing that we needed to really lift up and has been eye-opening is just the importance of the nonprofit sector. It's something that I think increasingly you folks are talking about, but when you think about the lifeblood of a lot of our rural communities and small towns, it's the nonprofits that really build the character and the capacity of those communities, whether it's the school system, whether it's the healthcare delivery systems, the hospitals and clinics, and the recreation facilities, the YMCAs, the churches, etc. So from an economic development perspective, we recognize the important role that the nonprofit sector plays in job creation, in employment, in spending. And so it's been fun to kind of lift that up. The other thing that you are alluding to that I think has been really important is just the economic development community recognizing that community development really enables business development. More attractive we make our communities, the better they're going to be at job creation and economic development.
Yeah, completely agree. And sometimes we know that a lot of small communities know where they want to go and what they need to do. They just lack the financial resources to get something off the ground or across the finish line. And these community foundations now have been able to provide the funding to take on a lot of these projects.
Isn't that encouraging, Joe, to think about? You know, we're still in the adolescence or infancy of the community foundation movement in rural Iowa. Less than 20 years we've been at this, but capacities and capabilities are growing. And it's clear to me that the impact that will bring, the opportunity to be a part of bigger projects and to really make a difference we're on the cusp of that.
Yeah. So if you were to give advice to our partners and kind of look forward, what would be something you tell them? Don't take your eye off this. Keep your eye on the ball in this area.
Well, obviously, transition's on my mind.
Yeah.
And transition is always a danger point for a person, for an individual, for an organization. And one of the things that we've got to stay focused on is continuing to transition the leadership of our community foundations. So, while I'm thinking about that for my organization as I exit, I think our affiliates really need to be thinking about, the next generation of stewards and leaders for their foundations and how they raise that up.
Yeah, I'm going to do something I do often. I'm going to give you the last word. But before I give you the last word, I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Community Foundation for your partnership throughout the years. Your work has really made an impact on a lot of Iowans. And I just hope you take time to reflect on that. And personally, you've just been a true mentor and friend to me. So thank you. So parting words as we send out this morning cup of Joe for our partners across the state.
The importance of education and training, the work that you and Rebecca do for our affiliates, and that you allow us to join beside you in doing. That's where my philanthropy journey really started. I got to go to the University of Indiana to their School of Philanthropy, and I learned that that this journey of philanthropy would take more than good intention.
Yeah.
That there were fundamentals and building blocks and stories and inspiration that people needed. And so I'm so excited about the affiliate network and the work that you do and lead here. And I know that I want to thank the affiliates for their commitment, for their volunteerism. You've heard me say before, I don't know that there's a tougher job at a community level than all of the aspects of running a community foundation. So to all of our affiliates, thank you to them for the great work they do. And thanks for the opportunity to come in and reminisce.
You bet.
I think the future, the past is prologue, and we've got a rich future together.
All right. Thanks, Rand.